V8 luxury SUVs are the best. I'll include a link to the BMW Pleasant Grove's website in the description down below. Also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a twin-turbo 4.4-liter V8 that goes through an 8-speed, fuel economy 16 around town, 20 on the highway, with power outputs being 523 horsepower and then 553 pound-feet of torque. The more of you that are subscribed to this channel, the more access I get to cars to review for you, so I'd really appreciate it if you'd help out with that. Now, there's lots of lines on the hood, kind of an interesting design overall. Speaking of interesting, the split light design, I wonder how long this is going to last in the car market. And speaking of lasting, I wonder how long BMW is going to do these giant kidney grills in their cars. But either way, putting it all together, it's definitely an imposing front end. Tire wheel setup up front is 275 by 40 by 22. In the rear, it is 315 by 35 by 22, so staggered setup. Tons of silver trim with the metallic gray, and then you've got the blacked out brake calipers with this particular one. Got these nice painted to match fender flares. That bodywork continues along the side. And basically everything's just blacked out around the side, so it's very uniform with the coloration. When it comes to the key fob features, we've got a remote start function built into the lock function, unlock, and then we have the opening for the hatch. Now I've got two buttons here on the tailgate. This lowers the suspension, make access height a little better. That lowers the tailgate. And yes, just like the X5, this has a tailgate. It's a very nice feature if you ask me. We also have our controls to raise and lower the seats, and you've got these two shortcut buttons. That's for max passenger, max cargo. I like how they make it user-friendly that way. And you actually have a decent amount of cargo space behind the third row with the X7. When you're all done, just press that little button up top and that will close that all up in one motion. Very sharp looking taillights here. You can see all of the badges on the back too. We also have pretty aggressive covers over the exhaust tips, and that will cap things off for the exterior. So let's check out the interior. Really nice two-tone coloration here on the door panel. Power sunshade here, you've got the controls to the window and the sunshade there on the door panel too. And look at this speaker with the carbon fiber and the ambient lighting strip above it. Really nice trim here on the seats themselves. Again, they're power adjustable, so you got those power adjustments on the side. See how easy this is to use. So just one touch, I think. It's kind of slow, so I'll save you guys the whole setup. Now the third row passengers do get their own sunroof, and the seats back there are really nice, but you'll note that legroom is, yeah, not that big. But at least you get ambient lighting with some nice soft touch trim. Now the second row is far more spacious. I also have a nice little storage area there. Got some USB port action too. Vents in the center. I've got my own climate zone and heated seats. And then headroom back here is also good. And let's pop to the front. Two-tone coloration with the front door panel. Again, more of that ambient lighting too. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. We also have our little seat adjustments down below. You've got memory seats, massaging seats even. And the mirrors are not only power adjustable, but they power fold in too. And then the front seats are really nice with the trim perforated down the center. And they've got more adjustments there on the side with lumbar support. The passenger up front does get the massaging seats, the memory seats, and it gets a lot of the adjustments there on the side too. I like the little steering wheel adjustment there, and then you can see the light controls just right next to that. But let's start it up. Hear that V8 roar. Now, of course, we got really nice soft touch trim all around the steering wheel and even stitching around the airbag cover. Practical controls for your voice command, phone controls here on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, you've got your cruise controls. You probably notice those little paddles on the back for the transmission. Completely digital gauge cluster in the center, and it does change how it looks depending on the drive mode that you have selected, and it shows you basic vehicle information like the temperature, well, temperature outside, but also engine temperature, fuel range. This has a 360 camera system with really good resolution. And when it comes to the infotainment system, I think it's a really good piece of tech. It's pretty user-friendly. It has a lot of apps, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto included, but very quick response time overall. And yes, the climate controls are built into the screen, but they're always accessible at the bottom section. More nice trim on the dash with the carbon fiber. You can probably see the headliner's a more premium material too. Got my little analog volume control below this whole kind of vent setup below the infotainment system. Phone charging pad in here with some cup holders, and those cup holders, by the way, heated and cooled. A lot of physical controls in this area, including for the infotainment system. That's to adjust the suspension. Got your transmission select, and you have shortcut buttons here for the drive modes too. I think the center console on this is pretty cool, how it just pops open like that. USB port inside too. But yeah, really nice trim here on the top. Just a regular rear view mirror, and then this does have another sunroof up front. This one's panoramic. Now, getting the V8 doesn't come cheap. So over 111,000 base MSRP after all options, 119,875. Let's see how the X7 with the V8 performs. Let's set off in the V8 X7. This thing's cool. And I mean, think about what this offers. This is like all, what is the climate set at, by the way? No, I did not click auto. I am confused with this system. Guys, I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm just gonna let it do its thing. Anyways, this is cool. 3-row family SUV with all the luxury, heated, cooled, massaging seats, and a powerful V8. Now, a lot of people might think, oh, you don't need that much power with something like this. You don't need that much performance. Technically, yes, but it's nice to have in a family car. It's nice to have, and V8s in general are just great in family cars because they just provide smooth power. And that's something that I think is pretty underrated when you talk to people about it, is just not just tons of power, but just smooth power. Like this has so much low end torque that I just lightly get in the throttle and it moves, no problem. Doesn't care. It's incredibly smooth. And the thing I've been trying to figure out, this is unrelated to the X7, but related to this engine. I've been trying to figure out why this engine feels different in different cars. Like, I've driven a ton of BMWs with this engine, and I've driven the Range Rovers that use this engine too, because BMW's been sharing it, and it seems like the Range Rovers don't perform as well, oddly enough. I don't know if it's because of the size, the weight, but it's just something that I've taken to notice. Of course my throat's dry. It's 102 degrees outside. I was like, man, I was only outside for like an hour, but I feel hot. And I feel like I need water. No wonder. This is really smooth. And the suspension's nice over the, yeah, over the bridge there. These BMWs do drive really well. Let's now get a little acceleration. Now it is going to limit the power a bit because of the break-in, but it's still, I mean, again, the low end torque is fantastic. I just don't get to feel the top end, but I felt the top end of this powertrain in the past. It's really strong. This is a great engine in terms of the performance. Like, if for a V8, this gets pretty darn good fuel economy. I mean, the horsepower to fuel economy ratio is pretty incredible with this, actually. And the low end torque is phenomenal. Like, it's really well-rounded with performance and daily drivability, all things considered. Oh man, it's so nice. So much torque. So in conclusion, I like how this drives a lot. I think that it's expensive, but if you want luxury V8 power, like this is one of the best ways to go. Having the tailgate in the back, like the only reason why I don't have, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the front styling, but like I also look at the used car market, and you know, I have a Toyota Land Cruiser, right? That's the only thing, in my opinion, that kind of like beats this out, because you know, you get the Toyota reliability and you get the super smooth V8 with that. Mine doesn't have a third row, obviously, but you can get them with a third row. But outside of a Land Cruiser, like this thing's cool for a family SUV. And it's got way more performance than my Land Cruiser, obviously. Bit more luxury too. Let me know your thoughts on the X7 with the V8, but if you're gonna get an X7, I think that it is probably worth jumping up to the V8.